Alan Tudyk walked away from Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the story was really interesting. Alan Tudyk, who you probably know from Firefly, and he's going to be in Rogue One, and he's a real handsome redheaded gentleman. Yeah. He talked about how he was actually originally part of Uncharted 4 and kind of the original incarnation of it, along with Todd Stashwick and when Amy Hennig was on it.
Let me read this quote real quick.
Okay, can you do it in Alan Tudyk voice?
How does that go again?
I don't know.
It's like your Harrison Ford. It's like your Han Solo impression.
Oh, just do it in a Harrison Ford voice. So this is Brian Altano's reenactment of Harrison Ford reading the Alan Tudyk quotes about leaving Uncharted 4.
I can't believe people listen to the show sometimes.
I worked on Uncharted, the one that is yet to come out. I was doing a role on that. Really, I hadn't seen Nolan since he and I had recorded years before. Chewie, damn it, get out of the carburetor.
All right, it's a long quote, so you get arrested.
I liked it. They fired. Let's add a massive sigh. I left. I quit. Haha. So I didn't like. I left because they decided to go a different way with it, and when they did that, when they changed leadership, it made my contract null and void, and I was able to take that opportunity to walk away, which was great because I got the experience of doing it. I made some friends, not with Naughty Dog, but I made some friends with the people that left. Todd Stashwick was in that as well, who is in Con Man, and he did the same thing I did, which was, we're going to leave now. Y'all are making some weird changes. We're going to leave. Sorry, Nolan. We left you. We just walked away. We abandoned him. So Todd Stashwick, Troy Baker ended up taking over his characters. He's supposed to play the gruff
for the most.
Yeah.
He's playing the older brother of Drake.
Yes. And Stashwick left with Amy, and he's co-writing the Star Wars game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I think it's just interesting as kind of a what could have been. That's a big name to have attached. I mean, not really, maybe not a big name with like my mom. My mom doesn't know who that is or something, but like within the genre crowd, that's like a big name to have
Glenn
attached.
Close.
Totally.
So Glenn Close, exactly.
Yeah.
Star of Damages.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's safe to say that a lot of this is pointing to the fact that I think the game was originally more lighthearted. I'd be willing to bet, especially with an Alan Tudyk sort of character. Mm-hmm. I imagine it was
nothing bad ever happens to any characters he plays.
Yeah, exactly. Except that one time he got a big pole right through his chest. Yeah, and so I imagine that the changes were that this is going to be a darker game, which obviously Neil and Bruce coming off of The Last of Us, it's pretty talented.
Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen, right? Like, it's interesting because, like, I think the Uncharted 4 we get will obviously be very different than whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And that's a really interesting kind of piece of history. I would love to kind of, I hope, someday we kind of get the, what was it kind of story. Because
I think it's very fascinating here how he talks about the contract going null and void because they changed creativity or creative direction midstream, which gave him the window to jump through to get out of there.
But I don't think that's uncommon. Like, you see directors leaving movies all the time.
No, it's not. But it's not very frequent that people call that an opportunity to walk away, which was great.
Yeah, I mean,
because I got the experience of doing it and made friends that weren't with Naughty Dog. Like, he's very specifically being like, this wasn't the best situation.
This is a really rare kind of quote to see because he's being very candid.
Yeah. Well, it's a rare quote to see in our industry. I think the fact that this guy is basically a Hollywood guy and he doesn't normally have to play by our rules is really good. It's good insight for us because you have somebody coming in being like, oh, I don't really know how they deal with all that. Which is like how a lot of stories get leaked is voice acters who don't necessarily usually work with games.
They're like, just finished recording my lines for Fallout 5.
Yeah,
and it's
people like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I know, I'm really excited for Uncharted 4. I think it's always weird seeing quotes like this because they're only getting one side of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, maybe from the other side, they'd be like, oh, man, like, that guy came into work drunk every day. I'm not trying to start rumors. But I'm just saying, like, you never know, like, what the other side is. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of odd when people get mad about video game journalism not being journalism-y enough because it's an industry that keeps a lot of tight-lipped, kind of tight-shut non-disclosure agreements and all that.